The multiple growth rate model. A two-stage DDM dividend discount model calculates a company's intrinsic value by assuming two distinct phases of dividend growth: a high initial growth period followed by a stable lower growth period, essentially using the Gordon growth model formula for each phase and summing their present values to get their total intrinsic value. The equation for each stage is P equals parenthesis D1 slash parenthesis R minus G paren and paren, where P is the present value, D1 is the next dividend, R is the required rate of return, and G is the growth rate for the specific stage. Key points about the two-stage DDM: two distinct phases. The first stage represents a period of rapid growth, while the second stage assumes a more sustainable lower growth rate. Calculating present values for each stage. For each stage, you calculate the present value of the future dividends using the Gordon growth model formula, considering the specific growth rate for that stage. Summing present values. To get the total intrinsic value, you add the present values calculated for both stages. When to use the two-stage DEM. High growth companies. This model is particularly useful for valuing companies that are currently experiencing rapid growth but are expected to eventually transition to a more stable growth phase. Limitations of the two-stage DDM. Accuracy of growth rate assumptions. The model relies heavily on accurate estimations of future dividend growth rates, which can be challenging to predict. Complexity. While more nuanced than a simple Gordon growth model, it still requires careful input assumptions and calculations.